threat of substitute products. Maybe just let me pause for a minute, kind of ask everybody, show your hands if you've ever heard of this before. If you've ever heard of grass seed mix that grows 2 to 6 inches and then stops?
Nope.
Okay. That's good. That's what I was going to get on this. Because my point is, this is the new product. I mean, and I've asked people in the industry, landscapers and lawn service guys, a lot of them have heard of it. They're not advertising it because they want to continue to mow your grass. But architects and engineers, a lot of them haven't heard of this. I've been familiar with this for 5 or 6 years. It's not necessarily a new product, but it's new to a lot of people. It's new to a lot of decision makers out there, potential clients. So essentially, we are the new product. And then you look down the road in 5 years, what's going to replace no-mow mix? I mean, you can't go downhill from there. You're already doing no-mow. So I don't see really any threat for a substitute product. Then just need to emphasize that it's our challenge to convince the decision makers. This is kind of what separates us. When you think about your typical lawn service, I think about 2 men in a truck and a trailer, and a couple of mowers. They're going to know about their equipment. They're going to know how to do their job. They're going to get in and get out. Maybe not have the business savvy. Maybe not know how to get in front of the key decision makers, whether it be commercial or in some of the government agencies we talked about, and just be able to talk to them and say, this is your upfront cost, but this is how much you save over the course of 5 years. So at least let us put this proposal in front of you, and that's how you get started. So not addressing residential necessarily right up front, not addressing commercial in terms of, say, like the University of Friendly. We're not going to say, let us redo your front lawn real quick. To be honest with you, there's greener, better grass out there, and if you want to, you want that to be beautiful, you want to pay people to maintain that. That's not the application here. This is more industrial, commercial, government, and some of the illustrations we gave before. Cemeteries that nobody's visited in 80 years. They still got to be maintained. The township has to do that, or somebody's going to get upset. Why not just redo it once, be done with it, instead of paying somebody 20 to 30 times a year? New entrants. Kind of touching on what I've been saying. Just about anybody can get into this game. Anybody can start up this business with a vehicle and a mower. The 12-year-old kid down the street can do that. But so in a sense, there is a threat of new entrants that probably a new lawn service strikes about every day. But really, there's not. There's not with the niche product that we're talking about, and there's not with the know-how that we're going to use to address township trustees or address, village decision makers, to address commercial clients. I'll have a few examples of that later, but the business savvy and the know-how and the use of technology, database tracking and so forth, is what separates us from new entrants. And really, on the next slide, these are effectively the same thing. They know how to do what they know how to do, but this is something different. The existing competitors really aren't in competition with us. In most cases, they wouldn't know who to propose this to, how to get a bid form for it, because most government agencies have their own bid forms and contract forms. So I'm saying new entrants and existing competitors are essentially the same thing. They're not going to have the savvy we have to get into this market. Rationale for business strategy, we're going to stress the differentiation, as I've been saying, with respect to the product, with respect to the clients that we're pursuing, and then we can also throw this in there. This is a sustainable solution. Everybody out there is trying to put a green label on their business, but this really is literally. Think about how many times you're going to water your lawn as opposed to just planting it and walking away. Again, for the applications we're talking about, it's not for the front lawn at your university. This is for the hillsides at the reservoir. This is for the steep banks where you have safety hazards, industrial, and government. Then talk about all the fuel you spend mowing. Talk about the chemicals they have to use to treat their lawns as opposed to this, or just down the road. This is plant it and go. And how is it going to run, grow, transform? We're going to focus on grow. Starting out small, starting out here in Hancock County. We're going to go township to township and speak to them. just driving around the city of Findlay thinking about things. Think about all the little parks that are there along the river, parks that really aren't used, parks that really just grow grass and somebody has to mow. Think about medians and roadsides on all these townships. You gotta pay somebody to go up and down those and have a contract for that. Wouldn't it be easier if you just plant something that goes 2 to 6 inches and walk away? And throw in there a couple stories about clients. I'm thinking about rail yard in Toledo. It's they load vehicles out for Chrysler, get them on the railroad. Essentially, it's enclosed with high security fence, razor wire. It's not there for beauty; it's there for security. Then there's high bank, outside of the razor wire. Something that's going to be a headache to mow and a safety hazard. And I've done this for them. Install this seed mix now. Nothing's growing this high. Nobody's going to be laying down the grass waiting for the guard to look the other way and take a few chops at their security fence. It's only going to grow this high, and the cameras are going to pick them up. Same, this is how it spreads, same with the state prison right next door to that. Their concern is obviously going to be with anybody who's going to get out, but their bigger concern is going to be with people getting near to the fence, and this is what they do with their tennis ball or their softball that's full of drugs. Now we're going to launch that into the prison. So they're watching things both ways, but they don't want to have the lawn service guy out there 28 times a year. Let's just plant it once. It's good for security, and it's a prison. It's not going to, there's no beauty to this thing. So that's how, essentially how we're going to grow. We're talking about the governments, townships, the villages and so forth, and then commercial applications like that. The rail yard, I gave you an example of the prison system and so forth. And so that's basically it. That's our business plan. Any questions about that?
I love this. I gotta tell you, I've never heard anything like it. I'm wondering if you would ever think about, I know you said not residential, but there ought to be some rural areas that would definitely, I'm thinking I live in a cabin in 40-acre woods, and a pristine lawn probably isn't what I'm going for. So I would think there'd be residential applications to this.
I would think so too. That'd be like the third part of our growth plan. Starting with going to the counties outside of Hancock County, that's the first part of the talking about government. Then beyond that, commercial applications, and then start to talk to people in residential. And they got to have that upfront money, but but then it pays for itself within 4 to 6 years.
You know what I'm thinking about, like as you guys expand, because like I do a lot of driving, and so I'm always up and down the highway, the little median and grass. I mean, you guys get money off that for
Big time.
all the highways in the United States. That's crazy.
It's kind of what gave us the idea. There's somebody's out there with a mower hitting the bumper that flew off of your car. Why not just plant something different there and save that money for the lifetime of that being in there between the moves.
Mike, did I understand that aesthetically this is not as eye-catching a grass for some reason?
Right. The seed mix, not to get too chemical and biological, the seed mix as opposed to like the bluegrass they like to put into your lawn, it's not as green. It's a little bit more brown in color, maybe not as full, but it serves its purpose.
Mm-hmm.